Hello everyone. Today I'm interested in testing the water that I have here in my home and also testing a bunch of different bottled waters that I purchased. I'm testing them with this TDS tester that checks the total dissolved solids that are in the water. If you look at this list here, you'll see that it says ideal drinking water is under 50 parts per million. Depending on what you look at online, some people say anything under 200 is fine. Some people say anything under 400 is fine. So I'm not here to say what is better and what should be the numbers, but it's just basically to see what the levels are for these different types of water. And I also have a pH tester here, pH Perfect, that I also bought on Amazon, and that'll just check to see what the levels of alkalinity in the water is. So those are the two tests that I'm going to be doing. Here's some waters that this is our regular tap water that I have from the tap. And then here I have Aqua-Pure, which is this filter up here. So this is our filter cartridges that I have. And then here I have one that comes in the refrigerator, which actually goes double filtered because it filters through the Aqua-Pure, and then it goes through a Samsung filter that I have in our fridge. All right, and then here I have some bottled water. That's like the Sparklets bottled water that I got from business. And then we have Trader Joe's alkaline water with electrolytes, Smartwater, Core Hydration, Trader Joe's Mountain Spring, Dasani, Aquafina, and then Fiji water. All right, so I'm gonna run through these and check those two things. So let's start with the tap water. So let me set that down there. And what I'll do is I'm going to pour some into this container. Pour a little bit here. And what I'll do is I'll empty this. So there's any leaching in the plastic or any residue there. Pour a little more at the top. Okay. So now let's test first the parts per million. So we have a number of around 186 parts per million. And now let's check the alkalinity. I'll put 2 to 3 drops, it says. So that's 1, 2, 3. And let's see. And the color kind of has a blue tone, which according to their chart here is like a level of an 8 or so. Let me get something to mix that together. Thank you. Yeah, so according to this, it's an alkaline level of blue, which is an 8, which is kind of surprising that tap water would be that high. I thought it would be lower, more towards a neutral, but okay. Let's see. I've also heard this tester online that everything turns blue, so we'll see. pH Perfect is from Amazon. I think I read something on the reports there that said that. So next we'll try the Aqua-Pure. So let's get another one of these containers, and we'll do the same thing. Set this over here. Put that down like that. Do the same thing. We'll pour some in here first. Dump that. Pour a little more. Okay. So we'll do first the, let's see, clear. Okay. So it's 190. So practically, it's a little bit higher actually going through the Aqua-Pure. Now this Aqua-Pure the filter is a year old. It needs to be replaced now. So I will be testing it afterwards to see if that changes anything. And then I'll pour some of the liquid here. And see what color this is. All right, this is more of a it's a little more greenish in color. So it seems like it's a little more towards the neutral value. If we look at this, Compare it to that, it's a little more blue. The one through the filter seems to be a little more neutral, or maybe a little acidic, actually, number 6, maybe. All right, next one. This is the one that's gone through the refrigerator. Let's pour this. Pour a little bit. It's gonna be messy until we get through the bottle ones instead. Dump that. Pour a little more. Okay. Now we'll get the clear of that. Put it in there. 155. So it seems like the fridge filter is at least doing something. It's cleaning it up a little bit because it went down from around 180, 190, 180 to like 155. So that seems a little better. Put 3 drops in here. And the water seems to be more just like a green hint. So it's definitely less. You can see it goes from blue to like a green color to like a light blue. Interesting. Okay, here's the meter again. Okay, so it seems to be also like, I don't know, maybe is that like a 5 or so? It's more acidic as it goes through these filters. Okay, and the next one, and the location I'm at, just if I didn't say that, I'm in LA County. I'm in Porter Ranch, California, which is part of San Fernando Valley, which is, or Northridge, which is in LA County, and Los Angeles, California. Okay, so here we have sparkless water. So this is the bottled water you get service in your home or business. It comes in those big 5-gallon containers. So let's pour a little more here. All right, so clear this guy, so it's clear, and then we'll put it in there. It's about 129 parts per million, 130. So it's a little bit better than the other ones, but it still is in the over 100 range. Based on this back here, it says ideally your water that you're drinking is under 50. Carbon filters are between 50 and 100. Hard water is over 100, according to this. I don't know. So now let's pour this in there. Let's see what it does. So it seems to be a darker, kind of bluish. So more towards like an 8 or so, if we look at these numbers here. All right. Okay, so now let's go to the bottled waters. So I'm going to clean this up a little bit, and then we'll move on to those. Let's see, we'll pour that there, there. Pour this up. Okay, so let's start off with this one here, which is the Trader Joe's electrolyte water. So we can do that there. Grab another container here. Open this up. Oops. Alright, so that's this water here. So let's dump that first one. Let's do it again. All right. First, I'll check the TDS level on it. All right, so this is 18 parts per million, or less. Went down to about, let's see, let's put in the water there. Okay, wasn't all the way in. It's about 29, 30, so that seems great. And now this water says it has a pH of 9.5. If you look up there, it says 9.5. So based on our charts, we should see it be pretty purple. So this will tell us if these pH drops are actually working or not. 1, 2, 3. So it's definitely more blue than everything else we've seen. Doesn't really match up in that 9.5 number here. It seems to be more kind of bluish tone. So interesting. Maybe these are off a little bit, but it is stronger than the other ones. So, all right. So TDS level is good at 29 for that one. All right, Smartwater is next. Let's try this one here. Okay, let's pick this up. Pour it here. Dump that. Pour a little more. Okay. All right, so now we'll reset this guy. Pour it in here. Okay, 24. So a little bit higher than the previous one, but still pretty good. And now let's check and see these levels. All right, so this one's definitely more of a greenish color. So the alkalinity is really acidic there. It's like a 4 or so. If you look at this chart here. So that's Smartwater. Okay, next one we'll do is this core hydration, which claims to have a 7.4 on there. So let's do that one next. Okay. Okay. So first we'll check the TDS level. All right, so this one's at 85, so it's a bit higher. Okay, let's see. Let's see what kind of color we got here. So it's also like a light blue, which kind of matches up with like a 8, I guess. Yeah, it's like an 8. 7 and 8, in between 7.4. So that seems to be about right for core hydration. Okay. Next one is Trader Joe's Natural Mountain Springs water. Okay. All right, let's check TDS is 98, so slightly under 100. Okay, now let's check, see what the 2, 3. All right, so this one has a little bit of a green tint, a little bit. Seems to be definitely under 7, so maybe like between, I don't know, 5 or 6, 6 and 7, somewhere around there. All right. Set it over here. Next we'll do Dasani. I've heard that Dasani is pretty acidic usually, so let's see if that's really true. Okay. So we'll test, clear that. Put that in there. So 26 parts per million for that number there. All right, now let's test the, okay. Definitely a yellow tint to that. So that seems to be about a 4, I would say, roughly, for that. Okay, so that's about what I expected for Dasani. And let's see, we have Aquafina and Fiji left. And then after I do those, then I'll change the filters and see how that changed the results for my home filters. So Aquafina. Okay, clear that, set that in there. So I'm getting a value of 0 on Aquafina. So it says pure water, perfect taste. And yeah, nothing. Nothing at all. I just said clear here and verify it. Put it back in there. Yeah, I'm getting a 0. Let's see if I put it on top. I'm getting a value. You can go in here, 0. So it has nothing. All right, so now let's see what the pH of this is. So it's definitely acidic. Looks like it's around a 4. Similar to Dasani, I guess, in the value of the pH. But it's definitely the one that has the lowest TDS with a value of 0. All right, so now, sorry for the noise in the background. That's my kid playing a video game there. So, all right, Fiji is the last one we're testing here. Let's test this one. And grab another container. Here's another container. Pour that in there. Pour that out. Pour a little more. Okay. Press clear. Now let's check it. It says a value of 134. So definitely higher. Now some of these, they do put their own like minerals in there, which is going to cause the number to be higher. So it doesn't necessarily mean that the water has particles that are unwanted. It just means that they probably put some minerals themselves in the water for taste or other things, and that causes this number to be higher. So 134. And then if we put the pH, check the pH level on this. All right, so it's kind of a really faint light blue. So definitely a little bit on the alkaline side, but not much there. Maybe like a value of 8 or so, if that. So, okay, so that's for Fiji. All right, so then here you can see the colors of them. So I'll just go across here. You can see that Fiji has a little bit of a light blue hint. So definitely either 7 or higher. Then you have more of the acidic ones, the Aquafina and the Dasani. Trader Joe's seems to be maybe closer to a 7 or so for the spring water. Then there's the core one, which claims 7.4, which seems about right. Smartwater is more on the acidic side. And the alkaline water electrolytes is definitely the stronger blue one, so that seems to be accurate. It's also one of the cleaner ones. So the cleanest one was the Aquafina, which had a value of 0. But this one here had a value of, I think, around 29 or so. And then if we look at the sparklets seems to be a little bit on the alkalinity side. So maybe a value of 8 or so on that. And then there's the fridge water, which needs to be closer to maybe a 7 or a little bit lower than a 7. And then we have the pure Aqua-Pure, which is maybe a value around 7 or 8. And then we have the tap water there, which is closer to like 8 or higher. But these also had a really, really high value of TDS. And it's coming from tap water, so I'm not sure really what's in there until I do more tests. What I'll do next is I'll change the Aqua-Pure filter that I have, and we can see how this number changes for the Aqua-Pure and for the fridge filter too. I'll try to change the fridge filter also. Okay, thanks a lot. All right, so I changed the filter for the Aqua-Pure, so now it has a new filter. If you recall, the old filter said it had a value of 181. So now with the new one, let's check it out and see what it says. So let's put it in there. And let's see, the number is 159. So it went down a little bit, about what, 20 parts per million, but it's still over 100. All right, that's for the Aqua-Pure. It's 159. So let's write down 159. And now if we test the one that goes through the fridge and through the filter, we have a number of 149. So that went down a little bit also. Okay, so let's write that down, 149. And now let's check the pH for these also. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And let's see. So here, seems like it's fairly blue. And here, it's gone down the pH. So it went down to what, like a 7 or 8, between 7 and 8 over here. And this one definitely seems stronger. So, all right, thanks. Hey guys, so there's 2 more waters that I forgot to test that I had here. So these are it. There's this Essential Overachieving H2O that's from Sprouts. It has a pH level of 9.5, it says. And then there's some water that I got at Starbucks when I went there. So first let's try the Essential. So we'll pour some in here first. All right, so let's dump this out real quick. Pour a little bit more of the Essential. And now we're going to check to see what the pH level is first. Sorry, the TDS level first. So here it is. And it has a level of, what does that say? 57. So value 57. So, excuse me. And then let's check the pH level. And that's going to be, all right, and pH level looks like it's pretty dark, pretty blue. So it's about right, probably 9.5. If you look at that, it looks pretty dark, maybe a little bit towards, let's see. Yeah, it doesn't turn purple or anything, so I don't know if it's really that 9.5 value, at least according to this tester. And now let's try the other one. Let's try the Starbucks water. Here I'm not really expecting much, but let's see. So this is the water when you ask them for a cup of water. This is what they give you. It looks like it's some kind of like filter that they have under the sink. Pours out really quick. So there's the water there. And let's clear this. And I'll stick it in here. And wow, 23. So that's pretty clean there. 23 is the parts per million. And now let's check the pH level. And 2, 3. Okay, so yeah, it's pretty, oh, wait a minute. It seemed like it was turning yellow, but then it has a little bit of green. So maybe that's like a 6 or 7. So fairly neutral, maybe a little bit on the acidic side. So not too bad overall. All right, so sorry I forgot to do those two. Those two have been done now. Thanks a lot.